Hi, I'm Edwin Romero, CEO of Mental Crasher Entertainment. Welcome to the Horde Podcast.
I am Thomas, also known as Albatross Dreadbug Roar, or on PSN, known as Dracus Dark 666. You can check out my YouTube channel as well. This
is Jesse, also known as Latte Foxtrot.
And I am Erika, known as the witch that helped to create Algatron.
How's everybody doing today?
Doing alright, Edwin.
It's going slow.
Pretty good, I guess.
Cold.
Fair, middle, and hot. Doing alright, though. Rainy day, cold, we're inside. Good day to do a podcast.
It is. I woke up and I heard something drip. And I'm wondering, no, I know I didn't drop a cup of water. When I look outside, drip, drip, drip. Oh, it's raining. No wonder why I felt kind of tired, but relaxed at the same time.
Especially in the fall. Get that fuzzy blanket, get behind the TV for the day, and just watch our podcast.
And Thomas, how awesome does it feel to play a game on a rainy day?
As awesome as it is to get late. I mean, what?
Oh, okay.
It's really good. It's relaxing. I mean, the rain kind of gives you that moment where it's like you kind of feel tired, just kind of lazy, and you don't want to do anything. So it's like, I guess it's kind of soothing in a way.
Now I'm happy to introduce Jesse, another new face in the group. Last time we had Brandon and Caitlin. Now we have Jesse. What's up, Jesse?
Hanging out with friends.
Talk about yourself. Taking
a break from my everyday life and coming to visit
the Horde.
That's a good reason. And Erika. Well, Erika, you're always fine. Whatever you talk about, you're always passionate about. So I don't even have to ask you.
I don't even have cable television, but, I keep up on a lot of recent events, things that are going on, and, I remember the way things were, and I see the way they are, and, hey, I got my opinion.
Life has taken a 360 turn, in my opinion. It used to be flat, but then it took a woo. This is what it is now. So
it really has.
What we want is what it used to be, but we're getting what we don't deserve.
The way it used to be, the way everything stood for, the values, everything, have actually, over the past, I have to say 30 years, is the huge one. It's just amazing to see, in my short lifetime, how much stuff has changed.
I'd like to begin first with something that utterly pisses me the off. So, this boy, special needs boy, to be exact, was set on fire by other kids and put into a coma. And when I read this, all I could say is, what the is their problem? Would you like me to put your hand on fire? Are you still gonna laugh? Let's test that out.
See, this might be because I'm a little twisted mother. But, I mean, if someone lit my butt on fire, I'll go up to him and hug him like, I'm taking you with me.
How do these kids at that age not even have a consideration for his condition, but let alone think it's okay to do that?
It's their parents.
He's a human being. You're going to kill him. I read the story first on Facebook.
I just read it.
And literally, I thought it was, like they have that fake stuff on fake Facebook sometimes and stuff, Till I really started reading into it, and I'm like, oh my God, this actually did happen. These kids set this other kid on fire because he was a special needs kid. Just the whole concept of the idea.
I'm again to the article. Special needs boy 10 dosed with gas set on fire in Texas. This alone set me off, and I knew I had to read into this. Before Blank was placed in an induced coma on Sunday, the 10-year-old special needs child who had been lured to a Texas shack, dosed with gasoline, and set on fire, was able to tell his mom the person responsible for the grisly attack needed to face justice. He hurt me. He set me on fire. He needs to go to jail. And I 100% agree.
It got worse. Just have them admitted, have them psychologically evaluated.
Yeah.
Because for a while they'll actually keep you in a facility and watch you for a good long while.
They lured this kid to an isolated facility. They doused him with gasoline and then set him on fire. There is something really wrong with these children. There is. For them to think that it was okay to even contemplate doing something like that, there's something very wrong with them.
Authorities had taken into custody Wednesday night one of the three boys, ages 9, 10, and 11, believed to be involved in the horrific assault in the town of Blank. The unnamed juvenile was charged with first-degree arson. Blank's aunt, Blank, told Fox News, but Blank's family is also hoping additional charges will be levied, particularly because they believe the incident was premeditated.
Yep.
Meditated.
Premeditated, yep. In other words, they thought about it. They lured the kid to a place. They had the gasoline handy. That's not only arson, that's premeditated murder.
Parents are doing. Parents of these child.
Yeah.
If I was a parent of those kids, I would give my kid a nice ass whooping. I mean, like a full-fledged, you're gonna be bruised and bleeding when I'm done with you.
Yeah. Well, that's
I don't
other things.
freaking child abuse or not. You freaking let someone fire you, psychopath kid. You think you're nice
can't
psycho?
do that anymore.
You can't.
Nope, you can't lay a finger on your kid anymore, and this is the problem is that, granted, there is a line between discipline and beating your child. The problem is now is
my
that
kid did it to me.
there is no line. Yeah,
If
they
my kid
blurred
did
the
that
line
to some
that
other
you
kid,
put
I'm
one finger.
beating him.
Yeah, you put one finger on that kid, you're in trouble because they have to investigate. They have to do everything.
I don't
Well,
give a
listen,
shit.
this is why you have 9 and 10-year-olds setting other kids on fire because you cannot discipline your child anymore. These kids are 9
like
and
that.
10 setting somebody on fire. My heart goes out to the family. It's got to be horrific for them. I can't imagine what they're going through. And these kids are only getting charged with arson. You know, the charges automatically should have been more than that. Should have been attempted murder. Should have been the first one.
One YouTuber said something, and I agree with them. This generation are a bunch of assholes.
Unfortunately, Xbox and cable have raised these kids, not their parents. Some of you, it's not your fault. You need 2 jobs. Some of you have, one parent has 2 jobs because the economy is so bad. The ones who suffer are the generations below us. Well, this is where the family values have gone straight out the window. Look at the old times of where you had a beef with somebody. You know, you had a fist fight, one-on-one. Come on, let's go. Let's see who's the better person. There is no such thing anymore. You've got guns. Where the hell did that even come from?
In this guy, and I guess you too.
Yeah.
We grew up on Looney Tunes, and we haven't set anyone
don't?
on fire.
There's a woman on Facebook. It's a meme. And she said, don't spank kids. It's bad for them. And then in the bottom, as a result, the kids turn into little assholes. And I agreed.
Nowadays, the law says, oh, geez, your parents put one finger on you. Call DCF and we'll investigate.
Okay, but if a kid freaking beats some other kid up to the point where he's almost dead, what are you going to do to your child then? Are you going to brush it under the rug, call it a good day?
Yeah.
It's like, it's okay, son, you'll be fine. I can't touch you because you'll call DCF. No, you pull his pants down, take your belt off, and you go, BAM! What did I tell you about freaking doing that again? BAM! What? BAM! What?
You gotta install the fear in them.
Now, there is discipline. There is, child abuse. DCF, a lot of those guys will know the difference. So if you do spank your child, or if you need to discipline your child, they will know the difference. But, a lot of parents are afraid to do that nowadays.
This is how it was in my dad's house. They weren't afraid of the parents. They were afraid of the parents sending me after them.
yeah, that's true too.
And
he was the discipliner of the bunch.
Hell yeah, it was.
It did make national news, and this is why it's out there. How were they raised?
the thing that scares me, the kids are the future. So when people say that, I wonder, true, kids are the future. Now, when they're corrupted and twisted, I have no doubt in my mind, a lot of them will end up like Donald Trump and Hillary at some point. There's a possibility.
Children will take care of me in my elder age. Will take care of all of us in our elder age. Think about that. If they can set somebody on fire, what the hell are they going to do to you? And I'm not even just saying us as individuals that they don't know. What is the possibility of what they could do to people that they do know?
All the kids are talking, saying, hey, set out to do it on purpose, Blank said. Blank sustained first and second-degree burns to a nearly quarter of his body. And on Thursday, doctors were performing biopsies to determine the degree of skin grafts he would need, Blank said. We want to keep in mind that these are kids, and they do need help, Blank said of the perpetrators. Blank said it was tough for the family to permit Blank to go out and play in the first place due to fears others might take advantage of him because of his developmental difficulties. It was hard for us to let him go play, she said. He wasn't a regular 10-year-old. You didn't know who really had good intentions for him. As a hyperactive kid, Blank was easily picked on every day, Blank said, but she also described a happy child who loved football and animals. Now that's sweet!
This is like the worst case scenario for his parents because they're trying to give him a normal life, as normal as possible. You know, with their fears, they still let him out there to try to make friends, to try and find somebody that would accept him. I can't imagine how his parents feel at this point.
He has a very good personality, Blank said. It just takes patience to deal with him. On Sunday, Blank reportedly was riding his bike when he met up with an acquaintance. One of his friends, who he felt like was his friend, just happened to take him to the field, and there were kids waiting at the field, Blank said. One boy doused him, and another lit him on fire. The degree of involvement of a third child is unknown. As appalling as the episode was, it was apparently not entirely unforeseeable. One has always had issues being destructive and disruptive, and his mom even made a comment that she wasn't able to handle him, Blank said. A U-Caring page had recently raised some money as of Thursday morning, well past the initial goal, as Blank laid in a bed at University Hospital in San Antonio. So basically, he's still on life support, Blank said. We're just hoping his body fights this off.
This kid went to a field, had gasoline, knew what the hell he was doing. The other kid brought the match, okay? So for the mom to say, well, he's been having problems and I've been trying to handle it. I'm sorry, sweetie. You know, there's a lot of agencies out there for you to get in contact for your child.
When I read this, I wanted to cry because I felt horrible for the pain this child had to go through. If that was my son or my daughter, I would be beyond pissed. I would want to kill somebody or the parents. No. As a matter of fact, I will go to the parents and I'll beat the crap out of them because I can't touch the kid. But I'll say, hey, you, me and you, right now, one-on-one, let's do this. I don't care if I lose. I'm going to get in a few hits on your ass. Let's go. Let's go.
Shit, I'm more sadistic than that. I'm like, I'll go to the parents' house and be like, kids, watch. Your parents are first. You're next.
Actually, that's the old way of doing things, too. Okay, for the mom, sounds like she's covering her ass. Sorry, dear. But it does, because you're like, well, I've been having problems with him for a while.
Then fucking deal with your kid.
Yeah, you
deal with him.
Kid, punish him.
Because I dealt with way too much. Every time.
No, you do. You got your younger brothers. I know.
Okay. You gotta look through them. You gotta put the fear of God. No, the fear of yourself. Fear of their eyes. These kids need an ass whooping. These kids don't learn. They just learn, oh, whatever's on TV and internet I can do. Or you want your kid to learn from you? You gotta teach your kid. You can't just let them all grow on themselves. No, that's what you do when you're freaking 16, 17 years old. Not 10 years old, 9 years old, 11 years old. Dude, you gotta teach them.
When they're young, that's the best time to teach them how to respect people. When they get older, they're already set in their ways. It's more difficult.
Years ago, 10-year-olds were still playing with Barbie dolls, okay? Dolls.
I
they
wasn't
were
playing
little
no fucking
kids.
Barbie dolls 10 years old. I was playing with action figures. I was thinking about action figures, video games, and girls.
It was a normal way of growing up.
You know what I was thinking about when I was 10? Coloring books, video games,
Yes.
playgrounds,
Play-Doh.
girls,
Yep.
cartoons.
Play-Doh.
Silly putty.
Yes.
Yes.
You know, and how many things can you pick up from with silly putty?
This is what happens when your kids are not taken care of by the parents. They
I
turn into little
understand.
psychopath holes that need an ass whooping. And when they grow up and meet someone like me, they get
Yeah, because their young brains can't comprehend that it's wrong.
Thomas, what's on your mind?
Well, there's a lot of talk about WWE 2K17 and how it needs improvements, and I will definitely agree with that, considering the game's good. Don't get me wrong, the game's really good, but it needs more. It seems like they got really lazy this year. I don't know what they were thinking, honestly. One of the last games I played from 2K was a football game, and that was poorly done itself. Like, it couldn't match up to a lot of the mechanics. Like, a lot of mechanics kept glitching out. Your character would end up in a crowd somehow. Like, what are you doing over there?
Watching him, he was trying to set up his character. He was trying to do the mod for it, build his character, and it would just boot him straight off and go to the beginning again.
Yeah, but you can see the beard like glitches into his chest and everything. You can see it like into his side. Watch as he lifts him up, it will like glitch into his back or something, and glitch into his. They got really lazy with the graphic mechanics for the game. Like I said, a lot of it needs definite improvement.
It seemed like by watching the other game that he used to play. Now, I'm not a big gamer. Honestly, he is huge into these games and everything. I mean, just by me passively watching, I mean, compared to the other game that they had and then they came out with this one, it was like they just kind of threw this one out there.
Some of the creation stuff for the game is definitely really cool. Like, you can make your hair go like Super Saiyan Dragon Ball Z, like you have to see there.
Yeah.
A lot of the other creation stuff definitely is good, but a lot of other creation stuff is definitely need more to it.
Yeah.
Need more options. Need more what's the word? Just need more options. Even for like making your character, I guess, buff if you want. You can't really do that right now because you can't make a guy like ridiculously huge like Hulk. You gotta like work with what they gave you. Like you see here, they got a skull and everything, but if you see, they also got like Sin Cara's mask, and you got.
Yeah, I was really impressed with that.
And they really want you to make Batman in this game, I swear, because they have like a Batman mask in here. And
that was cool. I like that.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of the graphics, yeah, especially the promos that they published and stuff like that. You know, I was impressed with. He made some characters and how in detail you could go with them. But as far as the gameplay itself, like I noticed out in the crowd, you'd have 3 people doing the same move. He was so excited about this game coming out. He couldn't wait. The day it came out, we went down to pick it up. And
like, even right now, I look at the game, and I'm not impressed. I'm not impressed with this game at all. It definitely was done so lazy. Like, they still, the beard, he looks like a zigzag beard. Like, it's literally going from, it's going down, zigged out, and down.
What were your expectations before you got the game?
My expectations were that it was going to be a little bit better. Pretty much the same as 2K16, just a little bit modified. A lot of the prompts or the promos, like the interviews, were very, very repetitive. Renee Zellweger, whatever her name was.
Renee Young.
Yeah. She would constantly say the same phrases over and over again, give you the same questions. And it's like, all right, well, are we going to get something new? Or what are we going to do here? Do we have to like, choose a specific one and do we get more? No, it was constantly repetitive. Constantly repetitive. Now, You don't even get the vocals. They were so lazy they didn't put the vocals in. They didn't ask anyone to do the vocals. You get a prompt. Now you gotta read everything to determine what to say.
They don't give you like a default voice to use?
No. A lot of like last time they had match options. See, if THQ was still doing this, none of the games would be up. I mean, the games would be actually solid. If we had to have good gameplay, the graphics would be great. THQ would have been able to work with whatever PS4 had to offer, and it would have been perfect. I would be happy. But 2K bought THQ out, so that leaves 2K Sports to make the games like they always do. I honestly think 2K should stop making games because they're terrible at it. Make some movie or something, dude. Like, don't make games. You can't make games.
2K needs to talk to the game players themselves and say, hey, what's wrong with these games, and actually work on fixing it, because it seems like they
I think
kind of
2K
like
needs to
texting
leave.
input on,
2K
you need
needs
to
to
change
leave.
this.
2K needs to leave and bring THQ back, because THQ knew what the hell they were doing.
Because they probably talked to the game players, and you said, hey...
No, they talked to the freaking wrestlers, dude. They went backstage with the wrestlers, like, let me get a vocal from you, blah, 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 blah. We want you to say this, this, and this. All right, cool. Let's do this and this. Mitch McMahon said the same thing. All right, we're going to put like a little act down, blah, blah, blah. We're going to say this, we're going to say that, we're going to say this and that. THQ knew what people wanted from them making freaking Tony Hawk games, from them making a bunch of other games that they're famous for. THQ needs to come back. Bottom line, THQ needs to make games again.
Where is THQ?
I don't know. They were bought up by 2K Sports. 2K Sports needs to die in a hole far away from here, in a freaking basement full of fire and lead and spikes, so they can't get out.
Yeah, they really seriously need to confer with the original people to bring
You basically
back.
want them to go to that one place in Pennsylvania whose name I forget.
No, I just want them to fall in a ditch somewhere.
You know that place in Pennsylvania with the perpetually burning coal?
No, because they really pissed me off. Because they took THQ's company and turned it into a storm because they don't know how to make games. They like, all right, well, we're making wrestling games now since we bought THQ, but they don't know how to do it.
Aren't they famous for making the basketball games?
Yeah.
THQ Sports, yeah. Or not? No, freaking 2K Sports, yeah. They made like quite a few games. They're mostly famous for Tony Hawk games, but they also made a lot of the Saints Row games. You can tell by the THQ logo. But THQ was probably the best company they ever had for wrestling games. Like,
They were more involved with them.
I mean, from what, 2000 something until like 2014. Get back on that freaking road, freaking making games, THQ, because you're better than 2K Sports, 2K Dorks. I don't care what the hell they are. They need to get the hell out of here. Worse with every game they make. 2K, NBA, 2K17. Throw the ball into the freaking hoop. Watch it glitch out.
It sounds like you're utterly fed up with 2K.
Dude, if I was making these games, I would make them to a T. Like, get everything. Or I need vocals from you. I want you to act this out. Blah, blah, blah.
He has screamed more of this. He could not wait for this game to come out. When it did, I swear to God, the gamer raging and the yelling at the screen.
Yeah,
and,
9 times out of 10, when you try to reverse, you don't reverse.
That was
your
a big
guy,
one.
your guy lays there like a stiff board while your opponent just stomps to the ground and does whatever he wants to you.
Yeah, you have to hear him. I've never heard him. Well, I've heard him gamer rage, as you've probably seen on his streams, but this one here, oh my God. You know, like I could be upstairs and he's down here and he's doing his thing and he's playing.
This is literally the only kind of game that got me to break my last TV.
Yep.
Wow. I have no comment for that.
Actually, he knows.
It's still fun to play, but it's just absolutely retarded. If I had the freaking money, I'll buy Rockstar Games and I'll buy 2K Sports. And I'll be like, you work for me now, get these games right.
Yeah, you would point out every single
I will point out every flaw they've ever had in every game ever and have him remake it.
No, he's good at that. Yeah, and he knows these games inside and out, and playing them and being one-on-one with him and what he expects and everything else. I think these places ought to take into consideration what he's saying, because, you know, he's not the only one out there.
THQ needs to start making games again.
Jesse, what's on your mind?
Out of life, what I do, the stuff, drawing and art, don't really need to go to college for that. And I can do it, kinda. Not good, but good enough.
As far as like with these the computer programs and things that they have nowadays, I'm sure you guys are techies.
If you put a tablet and a stylus in my hand, I'll make something okay. But
yeah, it's kind of the inequality between the rich and the, like, you come from a family of farmers to, you know, the elite of Connecticut or, you know, the surrounding areas, that you don't feel like we're giving an equal chance at excelling at what we're good at.
I'm a country boy gone city, and I don't fit in very well.
Ah, which is, you know,
What the hell would you call me?
I am. I'm country gone city, gone, you know.
I've been city gone country, country gone city, city gone
yeah,
country.
but see, with Jess, it's different. He's like total country. We've switched over where Jess is still the way things used to be around here. It was, you know, farms,
Well, where we're now,
farming.
we're city country.
You know, you had some like him. He's really good at art. Trust me, he is. I've seen his work. I've reproduced Van Gogh. I've done, you know, tons of artwork in my time. I've designed tattoos. I've done all kinds of stuff, and I've seen his artwork. And what the hardest part of it,
like a Van Gogh. I'm more along the lines of cartoonists.
He can't
like
do it.
Silly things.
You know what I mean? But it's nowadays, if you don't have that piece of paper in your hand with college, they're like, well, geez, you can't do it. It's like, no. Yeah, I can draw. Just because I didn't go to school for it doesn't mean I can't. It's called a natural ability. You know, people can do things in this world that we didn't go for training for. We're just hardwired for it. It's kind of weird.
Where you live now, does that affect you in any way that prevents you from moving forward?
In life, drastically.
In what way?
The price of living where I am is freaking insane, and without Social Security, I'd be living on the streets begging for money.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry to hear that.
Yeah.
Artists are the runts of the litter, and unless you're like really good and you've got natural talent running through your blood, which I don't, no one cares.
Yeah. It is. It's like really hard nowadays for a lot of that. You know, you can't.
I almost wish I was born like, yeah, I really like sports. That's something people seem to love.
With artwork and stuff like that, just having to jump to opportunity in general. You know, what you say where you live is like.
I draw. It keeps me sane.
What do you draw exactly?
I'm a cartoonist. I draw toony stuff, cute things. I don't usually do backgrounds. I have the ability to paint, but I don't usually do it anymore. I spent several years working as a silkscreen graphic design assistant.
One of the hardest part of an artist is getting it from your head to your hand, they say, to come up with a concept and draw it out and stuff. And actually, that's what he's really good at. Yeah, he's really good at it. And I think what he's trying to say is that a lot of, you know, people with a natural ability, and especially like with him, an artist, head to hand, is really tough. And to have that natural ability to do what he does, I've seen his cartoons; they're amazing. And but you could go into a place and say, "Well, geez, I'm a cartoonist; I could do this and that," and they're looking at you going, "Well, geez, if you don't have an art degree, you can't draw." But yet, in the state of Connecticut, it's so hard to even make a living, let alone pay for college education. Just get that piece of paper to say, yes, I can draw.
Barely making ends meet off Social Security, which is frankly pathetic. the highest degree. I don't think I've been lower ever in my entire life.
What do you wish you could do, or you wish you could change in your situation that could make you happier?
I wish I could just push the reset button and start again.
It's not even just like here, we are the second highest tax state in the nation, but this is going on everywhere. You have some great people with some great talents. Back when, you know, you would walk into a place and just have your your drawings in front of you or whatever, and you know, you didn't have a degree, but yet you showed them what you could do, and they would hire you. Nowadays, it's like, unless you got an art degree or some kind of degree, you know, or bachelor's or master's.
Bomb diggity natural talent.
Yeah, bomb diggity natural talent doesn't get you anywhere nowadays. And I'll tell you what, by looking at his cartooning and what he can do, you know, and especially with a lot of the anime going on right now and everything else, I mean, I look at his artwork and I'm like, I have issues getting from head to hand.
Anime is a good playing factor in the things that I do and draw.
He does. He's really good at it.
Once I discovered anime at a very young age, it just stuck with me.
Does it tick
Here I
you
am.
off?
I'm a total
but doesn't that tick you off?
weeboo trash.
Yeah, but it ticks you off, don't it? Because you've got this talent. There's something you want to do with it, but don't you feel like you got roadblocks?
Money.
He wants to go to what? The art school, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
It's all about it.
Well, I want to go into game design, but see,
very far.
I shouldn't have to go to a game design place or go to college for game design when I already know how to do that on a computer or just right then and there with my ideas that I have as well. I should be able to fly to that game designing company like that. And I've seen his drawings. He should be able to fly to that freaking the artist place or whatever. I don't know where that would be, like what that would be called.
The
but
closest art school to me is Hair. Small.
Yeah, he should be able to go to like an art producing school or whatever,
right?
Like that. With the talent that he has for drawing and everything, the talent I have for gaming.
Yeah, we're too busy trying to make a living, just making sure we eat and we have a roof over our head, and to excel and do what we need to do. You know, the people nowadays, they don't go by, hey, geez, you're really good, we're going to hire you. No, you got to have like 5 years college with a degree, a master's, or this, or that. What the heck? I've seen people do 5 years of college that are dumber than a box of rocks. Okay? And I've seen the same person who never had any college who just is mind-blowing. You know, ideas. You gotta have imagination. You gotta have creativity. This is all stuff that's not taught in books.
There's a lot of talented people out on the streets.
Yeah.
But like him, it's always money. And that's why they don't get far. But yet the people, like you said, who are dumb and who have money, they get accepted right away. And to me, I always found that unfair. How can the people who are naturally talented, yet they can't get there because of money, not get the recognition? But the people who don't have crap of the ability to do it right get hired immediately because of a piece of paper.
People used to look at you, well, okay, you have a natural ability. Wow, you're really good at this. We're going to hire you because you're going to be an asset to our company. Nowadays, it's, I don't know where the hell it came from, but now it's like all of a sudden you're going to have 5 years of college with a college degree, a master's, a bachelor's, or whatever.
Yeah, you do.
It's a piece of paper. I can wipe my ass with that piece of paper. We used to be an innovative country. We used to be a country where we admired and, wanted people that thought outside the box and were creative and everything else. Might not have had a college degree or nothing. They were just a natural at it. And we took them, excelled them, and became great things. Now it's, oh, you need a college degree.
That's why independent companies are so popular, because there's more independent companies than there are actual companies. You have these official companies, they have all these talented people with papers, but if you look at the independent industry, more than half those people don't even have papers, but they get the job done. They get it done better than the people with a degree.
They're supporting the people who, you know, are out there that are for real. You know, they're down to earth. This is what they do. This is their natural talent, and you know, they support that, and so do I.
When they see what he's capable of, automatically they're gonna want him because they're gonna realize this guy's talented. He knows how to draw. He knows how to do this. He knows how to do that. Let's give him a chance. Then when he gets on the job, people will praise the work of the company.
Because his creativeness and his ingenuity.
And
I mean, these kids that are taught in college are all book smart. Okay, fine, I can draw this and I can draw that because I was taught. But it's like, to have that natural ability of a lot of things, is you know, it's really, you're seeing less and less of it.
People like Jesse, people like Thomas will be accepted into the independent community because of the fact they're real. They know what works. They know what doesn't work. Compared to the actual companies, they think they know what works, but they don't have a clue what works. Sometimes I feel like I struggle with that, but that's why I love the independent industry. They have a lot more respect, and they have a lot more courtesy, and they're definitely more appreciative.
Sometimes I feel like I just can't fit in to normal society, and I'm never going to fit in to normal society, no matter how.
What the hell is a normal society?
Normal, working.
What the hell is a normal society?
Everybody's out for themselves nowadays. You know, it's so hard to live, making ends meet, having the necessities of life, not even extras. There's such a gateway between the rich and famous and, you know, the poverty level that, you know, it's making people really brutal. How many are out there get tramped in the dirt because these higher powers just want to make their pockets thicker?
Everyone should utilize their gifts. But when a person says, well, I've accepted I'm going to get treated like crap, and I've accepted that I'm going to get beat to the ground, and I've accepted that nobody wants me, that's when you know that's sad.
Too many people have gotten to the point of where you fight so hard and you're so tired that you get to the point of submission.
People like him and others, all they need is a chance. That's all society has to start doing. Give people a chance.
Not anymore, Edwin. Honestly, there's not. There's to get a chance. It's like of a lifetime, and they're not joking anymore. You know.
I think there's a saying for that. A chance in hell.
Erika, what's on your mind?
Really kind of appreciated the times of World War II, and it was difficult. I mean, I saw the pain in my grandmother's face. I saw the pain in the Gold Star mothers who have a Gold Star out on your front door meant that you had a son, daughter, husband that died in World War II. Everybody pulled together for the greater good of a nation. Everybody sacrificed for what America stood for. We rationed everything. Here in Waterbury, Connecticut, we were known as the brass capital of the world. We made shell casings. I can't even say it. Casings for World War II.
Remember that silkscreen place I worked at?
Yep.
Guess what it was before it became a silkscreen place?
Exactly. Everywhere around here. Everybody pulled together for the greater of the American way. We said the Pledge of Allegiance. In God we trust.
I remember doing that in school.
Me too.
And now they're trying to change that because there's immigrants coming into our country that are offended by it. You came to the United States of America.
Our country sucks anyway.
You came to the United States of America because of what we represented. Freedom. Why are you going to come to our country and try to change it into what you left? We have imploded from the inside out. Now, I remember the elections, Reagan, I'm going to say before Clinton, okay? I remember many of the elections. Even as young as I was, you didn't really understand what the presidential election was about. I remember back in the early 60s. I was really, really little, but I got a good memory. And, you know, to see what it was and what it's become, we are the laughing stock of the world right now with our elections. It has not become a point of deciding who would be the best president to lead our great nation, but has become who is the lesser of the evils to vote into office. What we offered our immigrants, liberty, justice, the American way, quote unquote. Our presidents had great pride in being our president and leading our country into greatness. The presidency has become as corrupt as our Congress.
The system has always been corrupt. It's just that back then, they hid it so well, you couldn't really see it. But nowadays, you can actually see it more.
It's become a very selfish country where everybody is out for themselves. We're too busy kissing everybody's ass. Okay, we are the United States of America. Speak English. You are here. Okay, I understand a second language. My grandparents spoke a second language in their home. But when they were in public, they were at least able to communicate in English.
On Facebook, I forgot what country it is. They haven't had a government in over 300 days. And the economy is booming. So I'm wondering, okay, so if that country, which I wish I could remember, but I can't, if they're doing so well in their economy, why are they doing so well without government?
Government restricts and makes rules, which I totally understand. When government is out for themselves, they will restrict things and limit things to benefit themselves. So when the government's not there doing that, of course the economy is going to boom because the government doesn't have their hands in their pockets.
If our forefathers were with us today, they'd be so ashamed. They'd be like, why even do it?
Yep. Yeah. My grandmother used to say, our forefathers must be spinning like a lathe in their grave, seeing what we're doing now. It's gotten to the point of where everybody's like, well, screw it. Everything's so messed up, I'm just going to watch out for myself. We really need to just clean house. We need to straighten out this country because if we don't, we're done.
A lot of people, they don't want to get rid of the real problem because the real problem keeps them high up on the ladder. But they'd rather take away all the stupid problems and make everybody else suffer.
It's called pacification. They're trying to pacify people like me, saying, oh, well, we'll do this and that to make life great again. Well, we know it's kind of like putting a Band-Aid on a gaping wound. Okay, you're just going to throw us little tidbits to make things appear great without actually really addressing the hardcore problems. And yes, there are hardcore problems, even harder to comprehend. We have to understand that this country has been in decline for years. And it's not only the presidency, it goes even farther than that. Farther than, anything that's been reported in the paper, anything that anybody probably could report, because if they went to report it, then they'd probably wind up dead. This is the United States of America. If you don't like it here, you don't like the way we do things, go back to where you came from. Because you came here apparently for a reason. Because we were one of the greatest superpowers in the world. It was us, Russia, and China, as a matter of fact.
Don't forget Japan. Japan also had its thing.
Japan had a stake.
There was a point for me where, I don't mind being an American.
But we were proud.
I don't like
we flew our flag with pride. The American Eagle was our symbol of what we stood for. And to be honest with you, as an American citizen right now, I remember that and with all my heart.
Now our national animal should be more like something like a chameleon.
Yeah. We don't know what we are anymore.
That's a good one, Jesse.
And for everybody watching out there, too, I have great hopes for the United States of America.
Humanity is not evil. It's just there's more bad people than there are good people.
Well, there's dumb.
There's a lot of evil people. And honestly, I think people forgot what humanity's all about. I think they forgot about caring, helping the other person. That used to be the American way. You helped your neighbor. World War II, everybody were hand in hand. You were starving, I would give you some of my food. Even though I had a little bit, I would rather share with you and we both have a little bit than one of us not having anything.
Are you serious? This country never cared about each other.
Yes,
they were always in it for themselves.
World War II, they did.
World War II. Look at what happened to World War II.
Yep.
Look what happened to World War I. Look what happened to the Gulf War. Look what happened to the Revolutionary. Look what happened to all wars.
I'm talking about
every
home
one
soil.
of those mother racist pieces of that needed to die in a hole.
Home on homeland, on our own soil. You had neighbors helping each other. Nobody went without. Nobody starved.
Maybe
nobody
in your
was
little
homeless.
town, but not our town, dude. Our town
all
was
over the United States. They helped each other because we were in a time of need.
This country has been
now
it's
like that.
We're not the only ones falling apart from the inside. I mean, Britain just seceded from their own union.
We are not the only country suffering.
The world is going to hell in a handbasket. Because they're going to these other countries as refugees thinking, you're going to assimilate us. No. You're going to that other country and you need to assimilate them. When you're in your own home, worship whatever God you want, speak whatever language you want. But when you were in that country, you were to speak their own native language. And if you cannot, which was a requisition of the United States government when you came over through Ellis Island, if you didn't speak enough English, they could turn you back. Okay, you had to speak English to come to this country. I don't know whatever happened to that.
Why are we not doing that?
These neutral countries, out of all of us, I mean, granted, Canada's a little touchy with their health care, but they have a unionized health care.
That's a nice way to put it.
I mean, it could take 2 years to get a CAT scan. Besides that, I mean, they've pretty much got it down.
I would like to give a shout out to Erika, Jesse, and Thomas for being in the final episode of the Horde podcast. This was exciting, it was new, and I look forward to doing more and fresh content for the Horde. Thanks for listening to this podcast, and we'll see you later. Bye.
Bye.
Peace out, Girl Scout.